right, James, thanks very much. Baseball's on the horizon, let me tell you. We have a by-district contest between the Wildcat boys and the Van Vandals tonight from Royse City High School. Sulphur Springs is the champions of District 15 4A. They have a 16-7 season record, but they were 8-2 in the district. Van 13-23 for the season, 5-9 in district play. They had to go through a 4-team playoff for the fourth place playoff berth out of that district, and they won 2 games last weekend, finally winning over Brownsboro 39-23 to earn their place in this by-district game here tonight at Royse City. So we are just moments away from tip-off, and we'll come back and have the starters for tonight's ball game and some other important facts for you when Wildcat basketball continues after this on KSST. Once again from Royse City High School, it's John Mark Dempsey. Tony Flippin could not be with us tonight, so I'm going solo this evening, although we do have, of course, Matt Jansen, our technical director. James Terry is our producer back in Sulphur Springs. Tricia Dempsey is helping out with the stats tonight. Natalie Sheffield provides the video that you will see later on Channel 18 and on YouTube. And we've had a lot of help from Taylor Young, the sports information director for the Royse City ISD. You don't run into that too often in high school sports, but Taylor has been extremely helpful. Let's have another break, and we'll come back with tonight's starters right after this on KSST. Sulphur Springs versus Van, Region 2 by-district basketball tonight from Royse City. We are just about ready to go. Of course, the Wildcats coached by Cannon Earp in his first season at Sulphur Springs. And Cannon coached at Hudson and Gladewater before coming to Sulphur Springs, and made the state semifinals with the Gladewater Bears in 2014 and 2017. Came into the season with a 239-106 record, a 69% winning percentage. Cannon Earp, the head coach of the Sulphur Springs Wildcats, of course, stepping into the shoes of Brandon Shaver, who had some great years at Sulphur Springs, including last year 31-8 with a 10-0 record in district play and a 3-1 record in the playoffs. Wildcats are the home team tonight, and a good crowd of Sulphur Springs folks are here already in the gym on the far side. We are sitting behind the scorers table, which we like this evening at Royse City High School. Logan Jackson, 6'3" senior, will start for Sulphur Springs tonight. Carter Arrington, a 5'10" junior, gets the start. DJ Wilkerson, 5'10" senior, will be starting. Caden Spigner, 6'5" senior, starts for Sulphur Springs this evening. And Mac Rollison, the point guard, is a 5'10" junior. Starters for Van: Austin Moffitt, a 5'6" junior. Caden Rowe, 6'3", 175-pound junior. Easton Hinch, 6-foot junior. Ashton Loosler, a 6-foot senior. And Andrew Flotter, a 6'6" junior. And Van coached by Austin Fleming. I believe he's in his first year at Van. So we're looking for a competitive game here tonight. Van coming out of one of the stronger districts in East Texas. Maybank, the district champion, and Canton, the second-place team. And Van comes in here as the fourth-place team out of District 16 4A, and we are about to have the center jump with Caden Spigner jumping against Caden Rowe, the two Cadens. Spigner, 6'5", and Rowe at 6'3". The ball is in the air, and the tap is controlled by Van. Vandals will be moving from our left to our right. They wear red uniforms, red jerseys, red pants. Wildcats, the home team, in white jerseys, white pants, royal blue numerals outlined in gold. Van working in the front court. And a shot from the baseline, no good. The rebound by Austin Moffitt, also no good, as he goes up with the follow-up shot. And Logan Jackson rebounds for Sulphur Springs, and here come the Wildcats. Wallison working down low for Spigner. We have a whistle. no foul called, or was there? There was a foul called, and we'll have to check on who that foul was on. Wildcats inbound on the baseline, and we have a traveling call on DJ Wilkerson. So there is one foul in the game so far, and that one goes against Van. Of course, you go to the bonus on the 5th foul. No score, just underway. Van working the ball in the front court. The Van Vandals, decked out in red. They keep it outside for the moment. Wildcats in a 2-3 zone, and knifing inside for the shot, but missed. Ashton Leusler. Wildcats with the rebound. Mac Rollison brings it across the midcourt line. Rollison trying to get a bounce pass down to Caden Spigner, but it's off his foot, and it's picked up by Van. Here come the Vandals. Again, no score. On the near side, it's Ashton Leusler. Leusler to Caden Rowe. Rowe working in the paint. Little hook goes off the glass, and it's good. Caden Rowe makes it 2-0 Van. Nice move there on the inside. Van on top. Wildcats in the front court. Logan Jackson with a pass on the baseline down to Caden Spigner, but he lost it over the baseline, and it goes back to Van. Nice pass there by Jackson. Bounce pass. Trying to set up Spigner for the layup, but Spigner couldn't corral the pass. 2-0 Van. Vandals in the front court, and it's taken away by DJ Wilkerson for Sulphur Springs. 2-on-1 break. Carter Arrington on the feed from Wilkerson, banks it off the glass from 6 feet out. Game is tied at 2-2. Nice feed there by Wilkerson. Nice shot by Carter Arrington. Van on offense in the front court. Jumper in the paint, no good. Tapped around, and now controlled by Logan Jackson for Sulphur Springs. To Mac Rollison across the midcourt line. To DJ Wilkerson for 3, got it! DJ Wilkerson with a 3-pointer from the left side of the arc, 5-2, Sulphur Springs. 5:18 left to go. First period. 3-pointer for Van is off, no good. That shot by Caden Rowe. Tapped around over the baseline off the Wildcats, and Van will inbound on the baseline underneath the Vandal basket. Easton Hinch gets it in. This is Ashton Leusler on the dribble. Coming to the near side. Down on the baseline. And now they work it inside, and there's that little baby hook again by Andrew Flotter. But this one's no good. It was actually Caden Rowe who had the hook for the first field goal, but the Wildcats rebound. Here they come, and a 3-pointer by Arrington. Rattles off the iron, no good. Loose ball in the backcourt is controlled by Van. Caden Rowe brings it across the midcourt line for the Vandals. Wildcats lead at 5-2. Far side in the corner, 3-pointer is good by Easton Hinch, and the game is tied at 5. 4:24 to go, first period. Mac Rollison running the offense for Sulphur Springs to DJ Wilkerson. They get it down low to Spigner. Spigner with a nice move. Hook shot no good off the iron, and rebounded by Van. Here come the Vandals. Over on the far side, 3-pointer air ball. Taken in by DJ Wilkerson for Sulphur Springs. Wilkerson across the midcourt line. Wildcats in the front court. Arrington driving the baseline and can't get it to fall. Going in on the layup and just simply would not drop. 5-5. 3:44 to go, first period. Van on offense in the front court. They have Flotter up high on the post. And now it goes to Hinch, Easton Hinch, driving the baseline, kicks it in the corner to Austin Moffitt, and Moffitt nails a 3-pointer. 8-5 Van. 3:23 to go, first period. Lane Hunt about to come in for Sulphur Springs. Oh, nice move by Mac Rollison driving down the baseline. Again, it would not fall. Vandals with the rebound back up the floor into the front court. Caden Rowe bluffs a move, and it's taken away now by Rollison. Rollison on the break, and now to Carter Arrington, and Arrington knifing in from the right side with the layup. Carter Arrington with 4 points in the first quarter, 8-7 Van. Timeout on the floor, 2:56 to go first period. Wildcats basketball on KSST. Wildcats basketball on KSST. Van leading in this by-district game 8-7, 2:50 to go first period. Van working the offense as they move from left to right. Some substitutes in the game now for Van. Cameron Jones in the game for the first time. Also Raleigh Hinch. Hinch at the top of the circle. Over on the far side he goes to Jones. Jones driving down the lane, cut off by DJ Wilkerson. Jones still on the dribble, coming to the near side. Gets it in the corner to Easton Hinch. Great defense here by the Wildcats, and the ball knocked out of bounds off one of the Wildcats over the baseline. Again, remember, no shot clock in high school basketball. Carter Arrington takes it away on the inbounds pass. Into the front court for Sulphur Springs. Arrington, a nice runner from 12 feet. It's good. Carter Arrington with a hot hand in the first quarter. 3 field goals and 6 points, and Sulphur Springs regains the lead at 9-8. Van into the front court. There's a trap at midcourt, and Mac Rollison takes it away. Rollison on the break. Can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound, back up, and scores. Mac Rollison, his first bucket, and the Wildcats have a 3-point lead, 11-8, 1:44 left in the first period. This by-district game at Royse City. Van on offense in the front court. Loose ball on the floor here. We have a tie ball, and the arrow pointing at Sulphur Springs.
First about number 21, Ryder Savage, his first, the team's second.
And a personal foul called. And I believe that's on Ryder Savage of Van. The ball goes back to Sulphur Springs. Mac Rollison to Carter Arrington. Now to Rafe Pinson. And now Arrington puts up a 3. It is partially blocked, but it's taken away by Skylar Lewis, who's into the ball game for the first time for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats working on offense. Lewis, 4-3, off the iron, no good, but Pinson there for the rebound, back up. He misses the shot, but we have a foul. Raleigh Hinch draws the foul for Van. And Rafe Pinson goes to the line for Sulphur Springs. Pinson averaging 5.7 points per ball game. I'm not sure he has shot a free throw this year. Shot on the way, and it is no good. Wildcats lead at 11-8. 1:06 left to go first period. Second shot coming here. And this one rattles around and will not fall. Skylar Lewis going for the rebound, but it's off his hands over the baseline, goes back to Van. Here come the Vandals on offense. Austin Moffitt running the offense. Over to Ashton Looser. In the corner it goes, and now taken away by Mac Rollison for Sulphur Springs. They're trying to work it down low, and Rollison stepped in there, came up with the interception. Rollison still on the dribble, almost lost it. Over to Skylar Lewis. Lewis for 3, rattles off, no good. Over the baseline, goes back to Van with 36 seconds showing on the clock here in the first period. No pressure here as Van comes across the midcourt line. Wildcats in a man-to-man defense right now. Driving for Van on the angle was Ashton Loosler, and the ball knocked over the baseline off the hands of one of the Wildcats. Van will keep the ball. This will be an inbounds play under the Vandal basket with 20 seconds to go in the first period. Austin Moffitt gets it in. We have a foul. And the foul will go on Mac Rollison. That's his first.
Loser to the line, 2 shots.
2 fouls now on the Wildcats here in the period, but that will revert back to 0 when we go to the second period. First shot here by Ashton Leusler, a 6-foot senior, is good. He was fouled in the act of shooting, and so a second shot coming. 11-9. The Wildcats lead it. Ashton Leusler makes them both. 11-10 with 17 seconds to go in the period. Mac Rollison across the midcourt line. Guarded closely by Austin Moffitt. Now Rollison to the far side, driving inside, kicks it back outside for Pinson, and Pinson for 3 off the back iron, no good. And the rebound chased down in the corner by Skylar Lewis, but it's off his hands, and it goes back to Van. Van will inbound on the baseline in the backcourt with only 2.9 seconds remaining in the period. Easton Hinch, junior, gets it in. Now here's the shot from midcourt. Way off the mark by Caden Rowe, and that's the end of the first period. Wildcats lead 11-10. This is Wildcats basketball on KSS2. Wildcats basketball brought to you by BT Medical, Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, Alliance Bank, Sulphur Springs Dodge, City National Bank, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, Wesley House, and the University Interscholastic League. And a big thanks to J. Hodge Chevrolet for providing a courtesy vehicle to bring us over to Royse City tonight. A really nice Tahoe. Really enjoyed that vehicle coming over. We'll enjoy it going back. Wildcats turn the ball over in the front court here as we start the second period. Looked like Logan Jackson was making a move on the baseline. I believe he stepped on the line, so the ball goes back to Van. 11-10. The Wildcats leading over Van. Wildcats in a 3-2 zone right now. Van working on offense in the front court. Ashton Leusler on the dribble. Around the circle to the far side. Now to Austin Moffitt, the point guard, out between the circles. Comes to the near side to Easton Hinch. Now we're on the far side to Leusler, making a move down the baseline on Rafe Pinson, and he gets it to go. Banks it off the glass. Ashton Leusler with 4 points in the game. 12-11, Van takes the lead. DJ Wilkerson driving the baseline, kicks it off to Pinson for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound for Van, here they come. That's Ashton Leusler with the rebound, and he takes it across the midcourt line into the front court. Now they slow it up. Andrew Flotter, bounce pass, cutting inside, and the shot by Caden Rowe is blocked by Jackson for Sulphur Springs. Great defensive play there by Logan Jackson. Jumper for Mac Rollison, rattles off. Lane Hunt gets the offensive board, can't get it to go. Hunt to the floor, chasing the ball, and it's going to go back to Van. Lane Hunt in the ball game for the first time. Had a good chance there on a putback, couldn't get it to fall. 12-11, Van on top, 6:25 to go until halftime. Caden Rowe inbounds to Moffitt. On the near side it comes to Ashton Leusler. Now to Easton Hinch over on the far side to Leusler. Leusler driving down the lane, pulls up, and he's traveling. Guarded closely by Lane Hunt. Caden Spigner back in the ball game for Lane Hunt for the Wildcats. Mac Rollison gets it across the midcourt line, no pressure. 6 minutes to go, first half. Rollison, jumper from 16 feet out on the baseline, no. And Jackson gets the rebound, goes back up. And he is fouled by Easton Hinch. So that is the first foul of the period against Van, and Logan Jackson goes to the line, shooting 2 shots. First shot off the back iron, no good. He's a 48% free throw shooter, averaging 7.4 points per game, the Wildcat senior. Second shot coming on the way, and in and out. Spigner with the board, goes back up, misses a putback, and we have a tie ball, and it goes back to Van. Spigner got the offensive rebound, but then the held ball. 12-11 Van on top by 1. Wildcats turning up the pressure here on defense out near midcourt. And it is knocked away, but it's picked up by Lusler. Once again for Van. Pass inside, and the shot missed by Caden Rowe, but a putback here by Andrew Flotter is good. Off the glass from 6 feet, 14-11. Van with a 3-point lead, and a traveling call on Logan Jackson for Sulphur Springs. And about to come back into the ball game, Skylar Lewis. Jackson will sit down. 14-11, Van leads. Just over 5 minutes to go in the first half. Van still working in the backcourt. Wildcats starting to put pressure on at midcourt. Here's a nice pass underneath, but the shot is missed by Flotter and rebounded by Spigner for Sulphur Springs. And here comes Mac Rollison into the paint and dishes off at the last moment for Spigner. Loose ball, and Arrington to the floor for Sulphur Springs, but he can't get it, and it's picked up by Caden Rowe for Van. Underneath for Flotter, goes up and misses the shot off the glass, but we have a foul. Foul's on Caden Spigner. That is his first foul. First foul of the period on the Wildcats. At the line, it's Andrew Flotter, the 6'6 junior for Van. He misses the first shot, twice on the iron and off. 4:44 to go. Flotter, second shot, nice rotation, spins around and falls. Flotter with 3 points in the game. 15-11, I believe that is the biggest lead for either team in the game at 4. 15-11 Van. Mac Rollison walks it across the midcourt line. Picked up by Moffitt. Now to Arrington. Arrington on the dribble, coming to the near side to Wilkerson. To Rollison in the corner for 3. Rattles off the iron, no good, and the rebound for Van by Caden Rowe. Here come the Vandals. Three-pointer is in and out by Ashton Lusler, and the rebound for Sulphur Springs. Here comes the Wildcats over the midcourt line with Carter Arrington on the dribble. Arrington around a pick by Spigner. Now to Lewis, and Lewis knifing inside for the layup. Off the glass, won't go down. Ball out of bounds. Over the baseline, and it will stay with the Wildcats. Trailing 15-11. Wilkerson bounce pass, wide open. Spigner for the banker off the glass. Caden Spigner, 6'5 senior, scores to make it 15-13. Now the pressure in the backcourt for Sulphur Springs. There's a trap at midcourt, but they beat it. And a pass inside to the open Caden Rowe for the banker off the glass, and he scores 17-13 for Van. And we have a traveling call on the Wildcats in the front court. That one goes on Carter Arrington. Timeout, Sulphur Springs, trailing 17-13, 3:38 left to go in the first half. Wildcats basketball continues after this on KSST. Wildcats basketball brought to you by BT Medical, Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, Alliance Bank, Sulphur Springs Dodge, City National Bank, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, Wesley House, and the University Interscholastic League. Winner of this ball game plays Dallas Pinkston. Pinkston upset Kaufman last night, 63-54. Van has the ball in the front court, and a double team here by Wilkerson and Arrington for Sulphur Springs, but they get the ball down low now, and a missed shot by Caden Rowe, but he gets his own rebound, goes back up and scores from 6 feet out. It's 19-13, a 6-point lead for Van. Wildcats on offense in the front court. Mac Rollison on the dribble. Now to Carter Arrington with a left-hand dribble, coming to the near side to DJ Wilkerson. Back to Arrington. Mac Rollison for three, baseline right side, rattles off, no good. Rebound by Easton Hinch for Van. Here come the Vandals. Again, that mid-court pressure for Sulphur Springs pays off as Rollison takes it away. Now there's a loose ball, but Wilkerson gets it for the Wildcats. Carter Arrington over on the far side. Underneath for Spigner, the easy banker for two. Great feed by Arrington, and Spigner with his second consecutive bucket. 19-15. Van on top. 2:26 to go first half. Vandals on offense. And a shot up off the glass, no good. Batted around, and it goes back to Sulphur Springs. Shot by Easton Hinch from about 8 feet out off the glass. And then Caden Rowe tried to go up for the rebound, but could not corral it. And it goes back to the Wildcats. Mac Rollison brings it across the midcourt line. Left-hand dribble. Into the paint, down low for Hunt. And Hunt had the ball partially blocked there, or tipped as he went up for the shot. And it goes back to the Vandals, leading 19-15. Vandals in the front court. Over on the far side. Now they get it to Leusler. Leusler to Easton Hinch, driving down the baseline. Pass inside and a shot up, no good. Batted around, down the rebound finally won by Carter Arrington for Sulphur Springs. Here come the Wildcats. Arrington into the paint. And that's going to be a charging call that goes against Carter Arrington of Sulphur Springs. Going for the basket, a real aggressive move there. But the officials say he's out of control and charging. That's the second team foul against the Wildcats in the period with just 1:33 to go. That's the first foul on Carter Arrington. Austin Moffitt across the midcourt line for Van. They get it on the high post to Andrew Flotter. Now to Caden Rowe. Now Flotter from outside in and out. Rebound taken by Carter Arrington for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats into the front court, down by 4. Three-pointer by Mac Rollison off the back iron, no good. And the rebound by Raleigh Hinch, 6'3" freshman for Van, with a minute to go in the first half, and Van leading 19-15. Wildcats have had a cold hand shooting here in the first half. Personal foul here.
Personal foul number 2, DJ Wilkerson.
DJ Wilkerson gets the foul for Sulphur Springs. Van still not in the bonus, so they will inbound underneath the Vandal basket. Moffitt gets it in. Goes to Caden Rowe. Now over on the far side it goes. Now down low for Flotter to Rowe, and Rowe from about 6 feet out in front of the basket gets it to fall. Caden Rowe. He has 8 points in the first half, and it's a 6-point lead for Van, 21-15. Logan Jackson on the runner for Sulphur Springs, off the glass. Hits the rim, no good. Here come the Vandals. They whip a pass down low. Off the iron, no good, and the offensive board run by Flotter, who goes back up and scores from in front of the basket. 23-15, biggest lead for Van. Wilkerson for three, misses the mark, and that's the end of the first half. The biggest lead of the game for either team. 23-15 Van at halftime, an 8-point lead over the Wildcats, who've been having a hard time getting shots to fall. Wildcats basketball continues after this on KSST. Wildcats basketball on KSST, brought to you by BT Medical, Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, Alliance Bank, Sulphur Springs Dodge, City National Bank, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, Wesley House, and the University Interscholastic League. And again, a very big thanks to J. Hodge Chevrolet for providing the beautiful Tahoe that allowed us to ride over here to Royse City on I-30 in style today. So most appreciative of that. Highly recommended. And we say once again, big thanks to J. Hodge Chevrolet. So at halftime, 23-15. Van, the fourth place team coming out of District 16 4A, is leading the district champions in 15 4A by 8 points. And the Wildcats just having a hard time getting those shots to drop today. Now, looking at some common opponents between these two teams, they have each played Bullard, North Lamar, Pittsburgh, Maybank, and Canton. And the Wildcats are 4-4 against those teams, and Van is 1-6. Another perplexing thing about Van, they lost their last 5 regular season games. And that left them in a 4-way tie for 4th place in 16 4A. And they had to have a mini tournament to decide who was going to be the 4th place team. And then they won the 2 games in that tournament, if you will. Finally winning against Brownsboro on Friday night, 39-23, but they had a 5-game losing streak there at the end of the regular season. But they got well in a hurry when they had to earn their way into the playoffs. One thing that was I thought a little bit telling about Van, they lost to the district champion Maybank the first time they played them 68-26. But in the second game, they lost, but they only lost 43-36. So they really made up a big difference there. And that indicates perhaps that they're improving as the season goes along. But that 5-game losing streak sure didn't look good there for them going into that playoff involving 4 teams, determining who would be playing in this by-district game tonight against Sulphur Springs. But Van did win against Brownsboro to earn their way to Royse City, 39-23. Carter Arrington leading the Wildcats in scoring at halftime with 6 points, all in the first quarter. Caden Spigner had 4 points in the second quarter. He was set up on a couple of nice feeds, one by Carter Arrington. I think maybe the other was by DJ Wilkerson. So also Wilkerson has a 3-pointer. That was in the first quarter. And that's about it for Sulphur Springs. 11 points in the first quarter and only 4 points scored in the second quarter. Caden Rowe, a 6'3", 175-pound junior, is the leading scorer for Van with 8 points at halftime. Andrew Flotter has 5 points. Austin Moffitt has a 3. Easton Hinch has a 3. Ashton Lusler has 4 points, a 2-point field goal and 2 free throws. The winner plays Dallas Pinkston. Pinkston upset Kaufman last night 63-54. Pinkston in that Dallas district, they are 19-17 for the season. And they were the 4th place team coming out of that district, but I am thinking that's probably a pretty tough district. And they knocked off Kaufman, which had a much better record in that by-district game played last night. So again, we are at halftime. Van is leading Sulphur Springs 23-15. And we're going to send it back to the KSST studios for a couple of moments, but we'll be back with the start of the second half when Wildcats basketball continues after this on KSST. Wildcats basketball on KSST. This is John Mark Dempsey. Tony Flippin could not make it tonight, and we are definitely missing him. But we have Matt Jansen, our technical director here. And James Terry is our producer back in the KSST studios on I-30 in Sulphur Springs. Natalie Sheffield is our video producer, and you will see video of this game on Channel 18 later this week, and also YouTube if you should wish to see it on YouTube. And Tricia Dempsey is providing statistics tonight. In fact, she went down to the scorers table just a moment ago to check on the foul situation because they have a very nice scoreboard here in Royse City, and this is a beautiful gym. But for whatever reason, they don't use the feature on the scoreboard that tells you who the player was that drew the foul and how many fouls he has, and so keeping up with the fouls, even though we're sitting behind the scorers table, which is a real plus, we're having a little bit of trouble keeping up with the fouls. So it looks like nobody has more than 1 foul. Easton Hinch has 1, and Raleigh Hinch, I'm presuming that's his younger brother, has 1 for Van. Ryder Savage has 1. For Sulphur Springs, Carter Arrington, DJ Wilkerson, Caden Spagner, and Mac Rollison all have 1 foul. So very few fouls really called in the first half. 23-15. Van leading over Sulphur Springs. Wildcats are going to have the ball to start the second half. And Skylar Lewis inbounds to Mac Rollison. Wildcats now moving from our left to our right, right in front of us, really. Here's Rollison on the baseline, making a nice move into the paint. And a charging call. Player control foul against Mac Rollison. That's his second foul. Rollison with an aggressive move to the basket to start the second half, but the ball goes back over to Van. 23-15. Van on top. Wildcats in a man-to-man defense as we start the third quarter. Vandals on offense in the front court. Here's Leusler from outside, knocks down a 3. Ashton Leusler. He has 7 points in the game, and it's an 11-point lead for Van. Mac Rollison across the midcourt line for Sulphur Springs to Arrington. Arrington to DJ Wilkerson. Wilkerson working inside and goes to Lane Hunt. Goes up for a shot, had it tipped, gets his own rebound, goes back up, and he is fouled. I believe that goes on Easton Hinch, 6-foot junior for the Van Vandals. And Lane Hunt at the line for the Wildcats to shoot 2 shots. First shot perfect. Nice rotation there. Lane Hunt, his first point of the night. Second shot coming. 26-16, a 10-point lead for Van. Here's the second shot as Hunt gathers himself. Second shot perfect. Nice spin on that ball there. Right to the bottom of the net. 26-17, a 9-point lead. Now the pressure at midcourt for Sulphur Springs, but Van gets it across the midcourt line. On the high post it goes to Caden Rowe. Now to Leusler, double teamed. Leusler to Easton Hinch. Cross-court pass on a diagonal, out of bounds, and it goes back to Sulphur Springs. That's a turnover for Van. 26-17. The Wildcats down by 9 points as Mac Rollison comes across the midcourt line. He goes to DJ Wilkerson. Wilkerson on the right-hand dribble and going up for a shot, and it's blocked. My view was obscured, but I think that was Andrew Flotter, the 6'6 junior who blocked the shot of DJ Wilkerson, who stands 5'10 for Sulphur Springs. Inbounds play on the baseline underneath the Wildcat basket. Pass outside to Rollison. Rollison on the dribble, pulls up, shoots, got it from about 16 feet. Mac Rollison for Sulphur Springs now has 4 points. He's averaging 14 points a game. The need for him to get hot. 7-point lead for Van at 26-19. Van on offense in the front court. In the corner it goes. The ball knocked loose there for a moment by Lane Hunt, but it's picked up by Van. Underneath. And we have a foul, I believe, on one of the Wildcats. It's DJ Wilkerson who draws his second foul. They had Caden Rowe underneath the basket, but he was fouled by Wilkerson, and the first shot now by Rowe, who had 8 points in the first half, is no good. Caden Rowe, 6'3", 175-pound junior. 26-19. Just under 6 minutes to go in the third period. Second shot coming. 2 team fouls, by the way, now against the Wildcats in the quarter, and this second shot rattles around 2 or 3 times and falls. 27-19, an 8-point lead for Van. Mac Rollison across the midcourt line for Sulphur Springs to the baseline, back outside to Arrington. Arrington, top of the key to DJ Wilkerson. He'll go for 3. Got it! DJ Wilkerson, his second three-pointer of the night. 27-22, a 5-point lead for Van. They have led by as many as 11 points. Van working on offense. Lusler over on the far side, guarded by Wilkerson. Man-to-man defense for Sulphur Springs. Flotter on the left side, they get it down low, and up for the shot. No good, Caden Rowe. Rebound is won by Sulphur Springs. That was DJ Wilkerson. Now Wilkerson on the baseline, kicks it back outside to Mac Rollison, and Rollison for three. Mac Rollison, top of the key. And a timeout for Van, 27-25. 2-point lead for Van. And they take the timeout, and Wildcat basketball continues after this on KSST. Wildcats basketball on KSST. Just a short time ago, Van had an 11-point lead, but that lead has been cut down to 2 points now. 27-25, just under 5 minutes to go third quarter. Wildcats back in a 3-2 zone here as Van comes into the front court. Van working very patiently on offense. Now, ball is out of bounds, but it's off the hands of Mac Rollison over on the far side. Van will inbound. Austin Moffitt will throw it in. 27-25, Van with the lead. But the Wildcats staging a comeback here in the last few moments. Lusler in the corner on the far side. They bring it around to the near side here. Down on the baseline, a double team by the Wildcats on Caden Rowe. It's knocked out of bounds off the hands of one of the Cats. I think that was Skylar Lewis. And Van will inbound on the baseline. Underneath the Vandal basket. Way outside it goes. And the shot is blocked. And plucked out of the air here by Mac Rollison for Sulphur Springs. The shot of Caden Rowe was partially blocked there, or tipped by one of the Wildcats. And now Lane Hunt on the low post. To Rollison in the corner on the near side. Rollison driving to Lane Hunt. Hunt goes up, and his shot is knocked away by Andrew Flotter. Here comes Van, leading by 2. Three-pointer off the back iron, no good by Caden Rowe, and Lane Hunt with the rebound for Sulphur Springs to Rollison. Wildcats on the run. Carter Arrington dribbling into the lane. Now to DJ Wilkerson. Bounce pass down low for Skylar Lewis. Banker off the glass is good. Lewis with his first bucket, and that's a tie game at 27. 3:41 to go third quarter. Van working the ball in the front court. Caden Spigner about to come back in. We have a foul. This one goes on DJ Wilkerson.
His team's third.
Third foul on DJ Wilkerson. And the third team foul against the Wildcats in the third quarter. You go to the bonus on the fifth foul. Wilkerson comes out of the ball game. And Spigner takes his place. No, that is Penson who takes his place. Rafe Penson. 27-27. Vandals in the front court. Lusler to Moffitt. Now to Easton Hinch on the near side. Whips a pass down low, knocked away by Spigner, but they get it back. And a pass underneath to Caden Rowe, and he scores with the banker to make it 29-27 Van. 3 minutes to go third quarter. Great feed there for Caden Rowe. Wildcats, Skylar Lewis knifing inside. Shot no good. I believe that was Spigner, however, with the tip for Sulphur Springs. We're going to credit Caden Spigner with the basket there. 29-29. Tie game. 2:43 left to go third quarter. It's Van on offense in the front court. Here's a three-pointer, and it is good by Raleigh Hinch, a 6'3 freshman for Van. 32-29, Van regains the lead. They led by 11 not long ago. Mac Rollison out near midcourt for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats working the basketball. Carter Arrington, high post to Skylar Lewis. Lewis made a move to the basket, pulls up, tosses it back outside to Arrington. Skylar Lewis on the angle, right side, into the paint. Lewis up with the shot. He's called for traveling. Lewis made the shot. Banker off the glass, but the official said he shuffled his feet. Ball goes back over to Sulphur Springs. 32-29. It's a 3-point lead for Van as they come back up the floor. Logan Jackson about to check back in for the Wildcats. We're sitting right behind the Wildcat bench. Leusler making a move. Nice pass underneath by Leusler. Skylar Lewis draws the foul here as Caden Rowe was making his move to the basket. Leusler with a nice feed to Rowe down low. And Rowe, I should say, at the line. First shot is good. Fouled in the act of shooting. Skylar Lewis drove the foul. That was his first, by the way. 33-29 Van. And second shot, in and out, no good. Rebound contested off the hands of one of the Vandals, goes back to Sulphur Springs. In the backcourt on the baseline. 33-29. Wildcats now into the front court, down by 4 with 1:41 to go, third quarter. Rafe Pinson over on the far side goes to Arrington. Now Rollison way outside on the left. Rollison into the corner. Bounce pass for Logan Jackson into the paint and goes up from 8 feet. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound Spigner, and he is called for the foul here. Second foul on Spigner. And the 5th team foul against the Wildcats in the quarter, and so this will be a bonus now for the Van Vandals for the rest of the third period. Again, the new rule this year is you go to the bonus on the 5th foul of the quarter, and you shoot 2. It's not a 1-and-1. So for the final minute 20 here in the third quarter, the Vandals will be shooting on every foul. And then it goes back to 0 at the start of the fourth quarter as far as the team fouls on Sulphur Springs. Shot is good by Raleigh Hinch, the 6'3 freshman. He has 4 points all in this quarter. And it's back out to a 5-point Van lead now. Hinch, second shot, also good. Perfect rotation. 6-point lead for Van, 35-29. Mac Rollison brings it across midcourt for Sulphur Springs. High post to Spigner, and Spigner lost the handle on the basketball, then got it back, then made a move to the basket, but he's called for the double dribble. 35-29, just over a minute to go, third quarter. Wildcats came from 11 points behind to tie the game, and did they take a brief lead there? I think they did. Here's the loose ball picked up by Van. That is the younger Hinch up with a shot, no good. Offensive board one, second time up, and Caden Rowe scores for Van. 37-29, that lead is back out to 8 points for Van with 40 seconds to go in the third period. Rafe Pinson has the pass knocked away. Here's the break for Van, and they miss the layup shot, and Pinson gets the rebound. And the whistle, and apparently a foul. Pinson went to the floor hard there. .29 seconds left to go in the third quarter. I have not seen a foul indicated here. Play was stopped, and I have not seen it indicated who will get the ball back now. Head coach Cannon Earp having a word here with Rafe Pinson for Sulphur Springs. Okay, so we have a foul, personal foul on Cameron Jones. And then the technical foul called on Rafe Pinson here. So Going to the line is Caden Rowe, who's been very hot here in the third quarter. He makes the first shot of the technical. Misses the second shot. That was not a shooting foul. The foul that drove Rafe Pinson to the floor was not a shooting foul. It was only the second foul of the period against Van. But then the technical foul against Pinson allowed Caden Rowe to go to the line, and now they inbound the ball with a 9-point lead and 20 seconds to go in the third period. Vandals in the front court, driving the baseline, and missing the shot is Easton Hinch. Jackson with the rebound for Sulphur Springs. 9 seconds on the clock. Rollison into the paint, and we have a foul. This one's going to go on Van. Caden Rowe with his first foul. And again, they only have 3 fouls here in the quarter, so not a shooting foul. Wildcats will have the ball on the baseline underneath the Sulphur Springs basket with 6 seconds on the clock. Rafe Pinson will throw it in. And watch the 5-second call, gets it into Rollison. Rollison on the baseline, scoops one up with 1 second to go and misses. And then as we come back down the floor, a half-court shot by Van is way off the mark. We go to the fourth quarter, Van leading 38-29 over Sulphur Springs. This is Wildcats basketball on KSST. Wildcats basketball brought to you by BT Medical, Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, Alliance Bank, Sulphur Springs Dodge, City National Bank, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, Wesley House, and the University Interscholastic League. Again, thanks to J. Hodge Chevrolet for providing us with a beautiful Tahoe to come over to Royse City this evening and to return to Sulphur Springs tonight. 38-29. The lead is 9 points for Van. The Wildcats cut it. Well, didn't cut it to any lead for Van. They tied the game at 27-27 and also had it tied at 29-29 after trailing by as many as 11 points. But now it's a 9-point lead once again for Van. Vandals in the front court, and there's a three-pointer by Raleigh Hinch. The 6'3 freshman, and it's 41-29 for Van. That's a 12-point lead, and I believe that's their biggest lead of the night. Ball taken away by Raleigh Hinch as the Wildcats working the ball on offense in the front court. Pressure in the back court by Carter Arrington. Ball tipped away, but it's picked up by Raleigh Hinch, and he makes a cross-court pass intended for Easton Hinch, I'm sure his older brother, but it's out of bounds. Goes back to the Wildcats. 12-point lead for Van. That is their biggest lead of the game. After the Wildcats had come back to tie the game after trailing by 11, here is a three-pointer by Rollison off the mark, but the Wildcats get the board, and that is DJ Wilkerson with the offensive rebound, who goes back up and scores. Baker off the glass, 10-point lead for Van. Zone trap for the Wildcats near midcourt. Vandals get out of it. Raleigh Hinch misses a three, air ball taken by DJ Wilkerson on the rebound. Mac Rollison spins as he comes across the midcourt line into the corner to Arrington for three, misses, but way up into the air for the rebound is Skylar Lewis, who did sky for that one. Gets it out to Rollison, back to Lewis on the baseline, near side to Lane Hunt, high post. DJ Wilkerson down low for Skylar Lewis, in and out, would not fall. Oh, Lewis from 6 feet looked like he had it. Down on the block. 41-31 lead for Van, 10-point lead. Carter Arrington putting on the pressure for Sulphur Springs at midcourt. And now we have a tie ball as the Vandals try to work it inside, and the possession arrow pointing in favor of Sulphur Springs here. 6:03 to go. Wildcats down by 10. They got hot there for a while in the third quarter and tied the game after being behind by as many as 11 points, but that lead has gone back out to 12, but now it's down to 10 for Van. Wildcats on offense in the front court. DJ Wilkerson to Skylar Lewis. Lewis driving down the paint. Nice move. Scores with a runner off the glass. Skylar Lewis for Sulphur Springs. 4 points in the game. Lead is 8. Pressure in the backcourt. Vandals get it across the timeline. Leusler. Nice feed underneath by Leusler to Caden Rowe, who lays one off the glass, breaking down the baseline. And it's 43-33. Again, the 10-point lead for Van. Caden Rowe having a big night for Van. We'll total up his points for you here as we get a chance. DJ Wilkerson, runner down the baseline for Sulphur Springs. No good, but Lane Hunt, the offensive rebound, and we have a whistle. Foul goes on Van. And I believe that is Andrew Flotter. Yeah, Andrew Flotter with the foul. That is his first, and that's the first team foul against Van. Lane Hunt makes another free throw here. He had 2 just a short time ago. He's 3 for 3 on his free throws tonight. 43-34, 9-point lead for Van. Second shot coming for Lane Hunt. Shot on the way, got it. Nothing but net. Timeout. Taken by Van, 43-35, 8-point lead for the Vandals. And Wildcats basketball continues after this on KSST. Wildcats down by 8 points, 43-35. This thing has been back and forth here in the second half. And Van has had a lead as big as 12 points. But in the last few moments, Sulphur Springs has cut it down to 8. With a bucket by Skylar Lewis and 2 free throws by Lane Hunt. Nice crowd of Sulphur Springs folks here tonight over on the far side. Probably a little bit larger crowd from Sulphur Springs than Van. Van a bit further away. Longer trip for those folks. And here we go. Vandals with no pressure in the backcourt. They get it across the midcourt line. Wildcats in a man-to-man defense, and they throw the ball away over the baseline. Leusler with a pass intended for Austin Moffitt. A bounce pass got away from him, and the Wildcats get the ball back, trailing by 8, and here they come on offense. Mac Rollison trying to bounce pass down low for Lane Hunt off the foot of Ashton Leusler. Hunt out of the ball game. He's made a big contribution tonight. Also, Skylar Lewis out of the game. Austin Jackson back in. Well, I beg your pardon. Skylar Lewis stays in the game, and he inbounds the ball on the near side here, right in front of the Wildcat bench. High post to Logan Jackson. Carter Arrington into the paint, and up with the shot. Tipped away and out of bounds, and it goes back to Van. Carter Arrington tried to make something happen there, driving to the bucket, but the ball knocked free, and it's out of bounds off the Wildcats. 43-35, an 8-point lead for Van. Vandals on offense in the front court. Sulphur Springs in a man-to-man. Leusler to Moffitt, back to Leusler. Down low on Jackson. Up. Jackson blocked the shot, but I think he's going to be charged with a foul here. Yep. Logan Jackson, his first foul. 4:13 to go in the ballgame. Shooting foul here for Austin Leusler. Misses the first one. Leusler with 7 points in the game. Jackson out, and Lane Hunt back in for Sulphur Springs. Second shot here for Ashton Leusler, and he makes it. Gives him 8 points in the game. 9-point lead for Van, 44-35. Mac Rollison knifing inside, can't get the runner to fall. Rebounded by Caden Rowe for Van. Here come the Vandals into the front court. Bounce pass down low, knocked away. Scramble on the floor. It's picked up by Skylar Lewis for Sulphur Springs. Lewis whips a pass to Lane Hunt off of Hunt's nose, I think. And the ball goes out of bounds, back to Van. Skylar Lewis with a really beautiful move into the paint there. And whipped an unexpected pass to Lane Hunt, at least unexpected from Lane's point of view, and just a little bit too hard off the schnoz there. Goes back to Van. Time is getting short, 3:40 to go. 44-35, a 9-point lead for Van. Here's a three-pointer, good for Van. Flotter hits the three on the far side from the corner, 46-35, an 11-point lead. Rollison around a pick by Lane Hunt. DJ Wilkerson knifing inside from the left side angle. He is fouled. Caden Rowe, his second foul for Van. 2 fouls against the Vandals in the quarter. DJ Wilkerson, inbound play underneath the Wildcat basket, off one of the Vandals' feet out of bounds. We'll do it again. DJ Wilkerson will throw it in on the far side of the basket to Carter Arrington for a three. Rattles off, no. And the rebound, Caden Rowe for Van. 3:10 to go in the game. 11-point lead for the Vandals. Moffitt has the ball taken away by Skylar Lewis. Lewis across the midcourt line. Bounce pass for Arrington. Arrington into the circle, pulls up to Mac Rollison, near side. Rollison driving, loses his footing. 50-50 ball on the floor. Scramble for it. And tie ball is called, and the possession arrow pointing in the favor of the Vandals. So it goes back to Van with an 11-point lead and 2:48 to go. Wildcats put the pressure on at midcourt. They get it across the midcourt line. Pass whipped underneath for Caden Rowe. And the Wildcats come out of there with the ball. DJ Wilkerson on the spin. And it is an offensive foul. DJ Wilkerson, a charging call. Charging against DJ Wilkerson. That is his 4th foul as I have it. Little bit out of control as he made his move down the lane, spinning, knocking down the defender, and the ball back in the hands of the Vandals as they come across midcourt. Wilkerson knocks it out of bounds. Wilkerson remaining in the game with 4 fouls. Again, as I have it, that is unofficial. 2 team fouls against each team with only 2:19 to go in the ball game. Vandals have the ball in the front court. Low post. It goes down to Caden Rowe. He's looking for Andrew Flotter on the backdoor cut, but knocked out of bounds over the baseline. And it stays with the Vandals. Not much time left now. 2:10 to go. 11-point lead for Van. Baseline inbounds play all the way out to Flotter on the dribble. Pulls up. Now to Caden Rowe. And a personal foul called here. Mac Rollison draws the foul. That's his 2nd foul. Still only 3 team fouls against the Wildcats here in the 4th quarter, so not a shooting foul. Inbounds play on the near side. For Van, Raleigh Hinch goes into the backcourt to Austin Moffitt. Now Raleigh Hinch for 3, air ball, but it's taken underneath by one of the Vandals. And we have a foul against Sulphur Springs.
Foul number 2, DJ Wilkerson. His 5th foul.
That's DJ Wilkerson with his 5th foul. Wilkerson out of the ball game. It sends Andrew Flotter, the 6'6 junior, to the line. Flotter with 8 points. Under 2 minutes to go in the ball game now. 46-35 Van. First shot is no good. DJ Wilkerson fouls out. Wilkerson leaves with 8 points in the game. 2 3-pointers and a 2-point field goal. Here's the second shot by Flotter. This one off the back iron. Foul against Caden Rowe of the Vandals on the missed free throw, and the ball's going to go back to Sulphur Springs, trailing 46-35 with 1:51 to go. Timeout on the floor. Wildcats basketball continues after this on KSS2. Wildcats basketball on KSST brought to you by BT Medical, Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, Alliance Bank, City National Bank, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, Wesley House, and the University Interscholastic League. Well, the Wildcats going to make a run. Time to do it right now. Down by 11. The biggest lead of the night for Van has been 12 points. But that 11 points right now looks pretty good to Vandals head coach Austin Fleming, who's all decked out in a lovely red sports coat. Wildcats have the ball now on offense in the front court. Mac Rollison to Carter Arrington. Logan Jackson for 3 and just brushes the net and will go over the baseline and back to Van with 1:34 on the clock, and the Vandals leading 46-35. The Vandals, the 4th place team coming out of 16-4A, going up against the 15-4A district champions tonight. Wildcats put on the pressure at midcourt. Sulphur Springs in a 2-3 zone. Moffitt over on the far side. Ball is knocked loose and taken by Mac Rollison. Here come the Wildcats on the run. Mac Rollison will go for 3. Rollison off the back iron, no good. Logan Jackson gets the offensive board. He spins, puts a shot up in and out, no good. Ball on the floor is out of bounds over the baseline, and it stays with the Wildcats. Rafe Pinson will inbounds for Sulphur Springs. Lane Hunt comes out of the game. Caden Spigner into the game. Pinson inbounds to Carter Arrington, dribbling across the lane, pulls up, now to Pinson, out between the circles to Mac Rollison on the near side. Rollison on the left-hand dribble to Carter Arrington, far side. Arrington driving inside to Caden Spigner, and Spigner with a pass outside to Jackson, taken away by Van. Breakaway layup is good by Easton Hinch, and that may do it with 40 seconds left to go in a 13-point lead for the Van Vandals. The breakaway by Easton Hinch on the steal. Under 30 seconds to go. Mac Rollison for Sulphur Springs pulls up for 3 and gets it. Rollison with 11 points down the game. I'll make that 10. Timeout. Sulphur Springs will stay right here. 48-38, a 10-point Van Vandal lead over the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Only thing you can hope for here is to foul, of course, and send Van to the line and hope that they go completely cold and that you can get hot. But even that is asking for a lot. What do we have? 30 seconds on the clock, 23 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure that it's doable. 48-38. 10-point lead for Van, and Van has the ball. On the baseline, underneath the Wildcat basket. Wildcats will go with full court pressure here. And timeout taken by Van as they were having a hard time getting the ball in. And so the Vandals take another timeout. Some other games in 15-4A tonight. Paris is playing at Athens, as we have it. Paris beat North Lamar in a playoff game for second place last weekend, 51-46. North Lamar is playing Canton at A&M Commerce tonight, and I'm betting that is a pretty good game. North Lamar 12-17 versus Canton at 20-14, but North Lamar much improved in the second half of the season. And that would not surprise me if it turned out to be an upset with North Lamar winning over Canton. And then Pleasant Grove is playing Maybank, the district champion, out of 16-4A at Longview tonight. On the girls' side in 15-4A, North Lamar is still going. They played Farmersville last night. Could not get the score of that game. I'd be very surprised if Farmersville won that game. North Lamar beat Lindale in the bi-district game 46-43 and beat Kaufman 52-44. Paris lost to Brownsboro 60-39, and Pittsburgh lost to Canton in the girls' bi-district game. So we are down to the final 23 seconds here. Van gets the ball in, leading by 10 points. Wildcats with man-to-man pressure in the backcourt, but they get it across the midcourt line. And we have a foul. Going to go against one of the Wildcats, which is about all you can do right here. Rafe Penson takes the foul for Sulphur Springs. That is his first. Wildcats now with 5 team fouls, and that puts Van in the bonus. Caden Rowe misses the first shot. He has 16 points in the game tonight. Most of them in the second half. Second shot is good. Give him 17 points in the game. 11-point lead, 13 seconds left to go. Wildcats have it for perhaps the last time this season. Mac Rollison misses from outside. Underneath, Skylar Lewis with the offensive board. His shot is off, and that's going to do it. Van with the upset over the Sulphur Springs Wildcats in Royse City tonight. 49-38 is the final. An 11-point lead for 11-point win for the Van Vandals over the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Wildcats basketball continues after this on KSS2. Okay, the Sulphur Springs Wildcats come in here as the District 15-4A champions, playing against the fourth place team out of 16-4A, the Van Vandals, and Van walks away with an upset win tonight over the Wildcats, 49-38, an 11-point lead or an 11-point victory for the Vandals. And their biggest lead of the night actually was 13 points near the end of the game. Looked good there for a while as the Wildcats had come from 11 points behind to tie it at 27. And then we had another tie at 29. But there from that point on, it was all Van, as they extended that lead out to 12 points pretty quickly. Went from 29-29 to 41-29 before the Wildcats scored again. So that is really where the Wildcats lost control of the game, is really at that point. And that was, I think, late in the third quarter into the fourth quarter. So for Sulphur Springs tonight, Carter Arrington had 6 points. DJ Wilkerson had 5 points for the Wildcats. Well, I beg your pardon. He had 8 points. Make it 8. DJ Wilkerson with 8 points for Sulphur Springs. Skylar Lewis had 4. Lane Hunt had 4, all free throws. Caden Spigner had 6. Mac Rollison had 10 points tonight for the Wildcats. But Sulphur Springs, I don't know what their shooting percentage tonight would be, but it will not be real good. And especially in the first half, when they fell behind at halftime 23-15, that was particularly bad there during the first half. But a hustling game on defense for the Wildcats. You saw them on the floor time after time tonight going for loose balls, not for lack of effort. And a real great defensive effort by Sulphur Springs this evening, but for whatever reason, the offense just did not click the way it needs to for the Wildcats tonight. So Van now plays Dallas Pinkston, which upset Kaufman 63-54 on Monday night. And we presume they will play on Friday night, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. I think I said Caden Rowe had 17 points tonight for Van to lead them by far. Very impressed by their young freshman, Raleigh Hinch, a 6'3" youngster who had 8 points, but all in the second half. So they have very much to look forward to Raleigh Hinch coming back next year for the Vandals. Sulphur Springs losing quite a few outstanding players who played their final game tonight. For the Wildcats, Logan Jackson, DJ Wilkerson, Skylar Lewis, Lane Hunt, Caden Spiedner, and Rafe Pinson all played their final games as Wildcats this evening. So once again, we say thanks to J. Hodge Chevrolet for providing us with a lovely Tahoe to make the trip down I-30 from Sulphur Springs to Royse City this evening. Beautiful vehicle, and we thank them very much for that. And always a good idea to stop in at J. Hodge Chevrolet, see what they have to offer. We thank also tonight Matt Jensen, our technical director, James Terry, our producer at the KSST studios, Natalie Sheffield providing video tonight, and you can see that video on YouTube and also on Channel 18 later this week. Tricia Dempsey provided our stats. Let me look at those stats before we completely wrap it up. Wildcats out-rebounded tonight by Van 31-25. And Wildcats with 13 turnovers to 10 for Van. So Wildcats losing both in terms of the rebound numbers and also turnovers tonight to the Van Vandals. So Wildcats end the season now at 16-18. Van goes to 14-23 on the season. And again, our final score tonight, Van over Sulphur Springs, 49-38 from Royse City High School. Tony Flippin not able to make it tonight, and we really enjoyed working with Tony on the games this season, and hoping to continue to work with him as the Wildcats transition now into baseball and softball season. In fact, the next softball home game is Tuesday, a week from tonight, February 27th versus Sherman. And we're going to have to discuss if that will be our first softball broadcast of the season, but it might very well be. And we hope to have Tony working on the baseball and softball games with us. So get our final score tonight, 49-38, Van with the upset win, unfortunately, over the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. I'm John Mark Dempsey, and we say good night from Royse City.